body count and age.
Yeah.
What are y'all's takes on those two? Because if I'm looking at a female and I want to get into a dating relationship with her,
That's a good question.
First two things I look at, aside from looks,
So as a man, do you look for a woman that's older or younger?
Younger.
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 And why?
You guys have to
less body
understand
count?
that attraction is not symmetrical, it's asymmetrical. So
100%.
everything that me and Gage wants is the exact opposite of what
I
Emma
do
and
find
Lindsey
myself
wants.
looking for an older man.
So you guys
more
want
established.
strong, competent, just
I would
capable
say-
men. We want feminine, soft, a little bit more withdrawn. You guys want the guy in the room who's the alpha, I guess, the center of attention.
Yeah,
the guy
secure,
the guy who's
established.
running things. The guy,
Yeah.
you want the guy that's running the show.
clip of the year. They needed to hear that. That's the clip of
And
the year.
usually the older
Usually.
guys will have a better sense of family and ideas of what they want to.
You know what the
in, like,
guys
future
want?
goals out of you.
The guys want the girl in the corner that nobody notices.
They want purity. That's the best word I can put it to. They want purity.
Yeah.
So, and that's something that we've talked on recently, which is the whole body count thing that I know you mentioned. So, with a lot of females that we've spoken to, it seems like the question of body count doesn't matter so much. I would say it does for me, and I actually sent Emma a clip that I thought was very relevant talking about men and body counts, because there will be a certain extent where I think men will start to get that kind of case of disillusionment, or like nothing new can happen. Like you guys will eventually reach a point where you've done almost everything that you can do. You have no new experiences that you can share with your partner. So as much as you guys want that low body count with females, we also want there to be things that are saved and sacred for like your forever partner. So I'm not like gonna say anything specific, but if you've done everything there is to do, there is nothing new for you to experience on a sexual level with your partner.
I think that's more of a personal thing to you.
Yeah.
I think you saying we to the greater public, I personally don't think all the other females are thinking the same way you are, which is a great way to think. I love the way that you're.
So a lot of
Take on
girls want the man to be in charge and be kind of like the one teaching and doing, rather than, if I have a girl that wants to teach me something new in the bedroom, I'm going to say, who have you done this with? How many times have you done this with? Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag.
But
No,
we
no.
also have certain,
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have
We're gonna
that
try
too.
something. But for the most part, you guys want somebody a little bit more experienced.
Definitely.
Yes.
So,
Oh, yes,
and
please.
I said this on our group chat. I want the guy who's outside of his hoe phase. I want the guy who's already gone through that, who is looking for that more forever partner. I want the guy who's made it through that. I don't want the guy who's in the middle or who hasn't gone through that yet.
I like the term hoe phase for men, because how many men on this earth do you think can even have a hoe phase?
Right.
You know what that number
get
is?
into that. Let's get into
Less
that.
than 5%.
5%. Yeah, I
of-
was gonna say that.
all
And no,
men.
I'm not gonna agree with you there, because men can have a hoe phase if you have low enough standards.
No.
I have guys who are sleeping, and I know I've heard you say this before. Why would I settle for 110 when I can have 10 ones?
It's a joke. It's a joke.
I mean, I honestly, I agree with
Solid
you.
point.
There are some men out there that do
Okay.
lower
Yeah.
their standards.
That you can lower your standards, but
And those are not the
And
guys
you're not
that I'm
gonna
trying
have
to
the high
go
quality.
for.
that's
women.
assuming that every other guy isn't fighting for those lower quality women as well. You know that, like, it's like 1 in 3 men are abstinent throughout the entire year.
I don't like
1 in 3 men
I don't
can't
like the
even have
term
sex.
low quality women, because
there's
it's
high
all
quality,
about
there's low
standards, and it's standards are a personal thing,
So
right?
Low motivation, high motivation.
A lot of women don't understand that men are lonely nowadays. And most men that you see walking around, 1 out of 3 hasn't touched a woman in a year, talked to a woman in a year, has any women showing them attention. You guys are looking at the top 10, 25% who actually can talk to a girl. So
Well, and I know-
most men are not even capable of having a hoe phase because they don't have the option to even talk, touch, or be entertained by any girl on this earth right
I know
now.
Emma and I have talked about that. We touched on that a little bit when we were talking about online dating, because as a female, I mean, I think in my first, 2 days of having I don't have a Tinder anymore. That shit was overwhelming for me.
Oh, the amount of options that we have.
The amount of options that we get, the amount of matches that we get, as opposed to the guys, which I know so many guys
5%.
that will just do, you will swipe yes on everyone, and then you filter people out later
Like we have a choice.
after you've matched with them, as opposed to us, which I only swipe right on the people that I'm like, oh, this is someone that I see as like a potential partner. I would say my match rate with people I swipe yes on is in like the 90 to 95 percentile.
So the number is actually, it's like Tinder did a case study on it. Women swipe 5% of the time.
Oh, I
means-
swipe
yeah.
no
Yeah.
Which means-
majority of the
which
time.
means-
I only swipe right maybe once or twice a week.
Which means you have 100 guys, 5 of them are even getting the chance to talk to women.
If even that.
If even that. That's what I'm saying. Whenever a girl's like, oh, guy having a hoe phase, it's like, that is not normal. Like, most guys, like I said, 1 out of 3 men don't even talk to women throughout the year, can't sleep with a girl throughout the year, no female interaction. Most guys are walking around basically like 20, 30-year-old virgins right now. The virginity rate for men has went straight up. Because
and I know the rate of like the involuntarily celibate. I mean, that's almost like that doesn't happen with women. If we want it, we can
snap
get
fingers.
it.
So
yeah.
the reason behind that is Instagram. This started happening around 2010 when Instagram came out. You have a limited amount of options with social media as a girl, okay? Guys don't have that option, you know. Most guys' DMs are like the Sahara Desert right now. And I'm not trying not to laugh with that, but I'm actually being serious. So you guys can make one post and have a man from Florida, Washington, and
But
cross
the
seas
problem-
and have them fly you out. You have the option for that. Men do not have that option.
But the amount of messages we get from the 1%ers is significantly lower than the 95 or the
Because the
99%.
1% don't have to DM people.
I don't even pay attention to my
Yeah.
DMs, and I'll say, and you're right.
I ignore every single DM I get because it's not.
I wouldn't say
worth-
I ignore them,
You kind of have to. You don't have the time to sift
but
through all
I
of
don't.
them.
I'm not really considering the guys that are swiping up on my stories going, oh my gosh, you're so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. I see that and I'm like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So men having a hoe phase, you're talking about 5% of the men on this earth might be able to do that. 1% on this earth are actually doing that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm not interested. And I said this before. I am not a fit for probably 99% of the men on this planet.
That's good.
I'm not going to be a good fit for them. I'm looking for those 1%ers. So out of the people that I'm looking for, it's typically the people that are capable of having had that little hoe phase, whatever it is. And I'm looking for guys in their 30s. I'm not looking to,
But the thing
I'm not
is,
looking to
guys-
raise any more boyfriends that are in their
Yeah.
20s.
Guys don't have their hoe phase until later on in life anyway.
it's,
once they-
It
once
totally
the-
depends.
Unless
They
they're an
make,
athlete,
once they make that
yeah.
money, right? Like once you
It
guys get up
depends.
there, that's when your hoe phase hits.
Usually.
That's why like the men's hoe phase is from like 25 to 35, I think.
I think it
Majority
totally
of men.
depends on.
Well, majority of the men.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the
It, de-
guy.
it depends
'cause-
on like your status and
Well,
like your
high
progress.
school athletes, they're going to be getting them, but that's
well, those are the early
5%.
peakers. We don't,
Yeah.
those are
We
not
don't
the
count them.
1%ers.
They are not even
Like
close to 1%.
I keep saying, 5% of the men on this earth are actually going to be able to attract women consistently.